Uncles on the floor right now. Aunties on the floor right now.
Given to her, but also the rest of the drive was birthed in her. So stop letting people tell you what you can and cannot do. If your circle of friends aren't celebrating you regularly, then you're in the wrong circle of friends. If you don't understand that money is not it, time is, then you're also lost as well. Yeah, we need money to live. And the benefit of having more money is have more money to give away, not more money to hoard. If I don't have any money in my bank account, I can't give to the homeless. I can't give to I can't give to charities. So I'm going to make a whole lot of money, but I know what the purpose of money is. So it's very important for us to understand what she just said and on a deeper level than just say the shoes. I like stuff. I have a lot of stuff. I'm going to keep having a lot of stuff, but I also know the place of that stuff. I also know the purpose of that. I also know that the moths will eat that stuff one day. But it also reminds me, like she said earlier too, to make sure you have to make sure budgeting. I don't like budgeting, but everybody has a budget of some sort. But you also have to celebrate the win. If you get that promotion at work, then up your personal budget and go celebrate with yourself. Whether it be a dinner, something that you saw that you want to buy, just buy it. Because tomorrow's not promised.
Okay. I remember, I like what you're saying. What would you like to say, Dr. Lee? Would you like to contribute or ask a few questions?
No, I'm just absorbing it, just taking it all in, and I just always playing with this thing to make sure we get it right. But no, oh my goodness, Nega, and the story is so fascinating. We're going to have to dive even deeper into it and put the story in my magazine. It's really fascinating.
Thank you,
Dr.
Lee.
Just appreciate it so much. And James, you always have the powerful words. So
thank you. Thank you.
Nagar, one thing we didn't talk about, it's a touchy subject. We were talking about some of the prejudices you felt, not speaking a language, but knowing how highly intelligent you were. There's language prejudice. When I was at my highest weight, when I went to lead a meeting, I could follow the eyes of what people were looking at. There's weight prejudice, there's color prejudice, there's height prejudice. And the last question I wanted to ask you, you never seem to absorb people's prejudices. And how did you circumvent that and stay true to who you were? I don't feel this way a lot of women do that are overweight. I still feel very confident about who I am. A lot of women don't feel that way, but I still am certain of what I have to offer. You felt certain of what you had to offer, even though you said you experienced a lot of that kind of prejudice coming over this country and not speaking the language. How did you deal with that?
My main problem was that I knew myself and I believed in myself, but I couldn't express myself. I couldn't show it. Like when I was in the group of people, we were discussing something, I couldn't contribute. I couldn't express my feeling, my thoughts. And that hurts me because I was like, maybe they think I don't understand anything. Maybe they think that I don't know anything, but I do know. I want to talk. I want to contribute. That was a huge thing for me. But at the same time, Leo, I told you what is so important for me is you yourself believe who you are and what you can do. That's all matter. It doesn't matter how people look at you. It doesn't matter how they judge you, because people always judge. You can live based on what they like about you or what they don't like, because there are always some people like you in some way, some people don't like you. You have to set up that mindset. I don't really care much about how they see me, how they think about. What is important is what I do. I believe it is a good, right thing to do. What I'm doing, it's something that I believe in, and that's all matter. honestly. This is how I see myself. Sometimes I have a client when they come into my office and I see the face and the look at me. It's just like, as soon as I start talking and they hear my accent, sometimes the behavior change a little bit, but I remind myself that, first of all, you don't know me. Second of all, if you're judging me just based on my accent, I speak 3 other languages and I'm proud of myself, the way that I am, and even my accent. I'm proud of my accent because English is not my first language. So it's okay for me to have accent. That's totally fine. So it's just it's a matter of how you see yourself more than how other people see you.
And when I met you, I knew you had a very unusual character and you had a wealth mindset. That is something that I picked up immediately. I thought, wow, this woman's courageous. And I asked you immediately where you were from. Remember, I told you that my sister was born in Iran and my father was in the, he was a doctor in the army in Iran. And I just thought, wow, she has courage. And the perception of people is really irrelevant. But when I met you and I saw you, I mean, I stayed in your office for a long time. I thought you were very fascinating. And I appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me that you would be here, that you could share with other women who are struggling with their challenges, their financial challenges, their language challenges, their weight challenges. It's all about the mindset and the visualization of who they want to be and the certainty of who they are. Because even when I ask you questions, Nagar, you go back to the mindset. You go back to the mindset. So I can see that the way that you think prevails before your discussions of money. It starts here.
Okay, good. Let's see, who hasn't, parent, you haven't asked a question. Do you have one? And also Dr. O'Neill, and then we'll get to our second guest. Mr. Wetzel?
Yes. So when you came here, tell me, what was your most difficult challenge of understanding the culture that you had problems with? I see that brings a smile to your face. So what would you consider your biggest challenge besides the language barrier?
I grew up in very conservative society that, especially in terms of like relationship with the people and women, it was very different when I moved here and I saw how women could play different roles in the society, how they value themselves. That was very fascinating for me because I couldn't see that before when I was in my country, because I mean, no matter what degree you have, no matter how educated you have, still your first position is as a woman and as a housewife. So you don't have that kind of power or permit to be a stronger part of community, be yourself. That was the one thing that when I start getting to know my friends and make American friend, it was very fascinating for me that women have more actually opportunity and power here in this society. And there's so many details, doctor. I don't know where should I go, but there was so much to learn. And every day I'm learning every single day from every client that I'm interacting during the day. I'm learning something new. So it's just endless path right now for me that I'm learning every day.
Good. Dr. O'Neill?
Good afternoon. How are you, Nagar?
Good afternoon. I'm good, thank you.
Great. The question I have is, when you go back to your community, and do the men and women there perceive you differently now that you are more, I'll say, American empowered as a woman?
That's such a good question.
If I be honest, it depends, but most of the conservative people see me as an Americanized person, that I'm very ambitious, I'm asking too much, or I have a big dreams. In their perspective, I'm not in a right mindset. I think, especially the men's, they think that I am too independent, or I don't know. But this is, I think, how they think.
Okay, and do you find yourself sharing that empowerment with other women in your community? Also, encouraging them and uplifting them and letting them know that not only can they do it, but you're there to help them do it, perhaps?
Absolutely. Since I moved back to Nashville in 2021, my main goal was getting involved more with the refugee and immigrant community based on my own experience, how I got here, my background and everything. I really wanted to help more people, more women, especially in my community. When they were in 2021, refugees, the Afghan refugee came, and I was trying to help. I mean, I helped so much, just educating women especially, just show them the new place and tell them that this is not Afghanistan anymore. This is a place that you actually can be independent, you can grow, you can be whoever you want. And I think I have had a pretty good impact on so many young girls that moved from Afghanistan, and also women right now from the Kurdish community, Persian community. I'm very engaged and active in all the Middle Eastern community, because I think and I believe they need to believe in themselves, and they need to find their place here in their new environment, the new country that they live. There's so many opportunities that they have to take advantage of.
Very good, very good. Does anyone else have a question for Nagar? If not, we're going to move on to our next guest. Okay. Dr. O'Neill.
Yes, and welcoming this guest is really special for me, because I had a chance to look at some of her photos and see that she does immaculate touch organizing. And as women, sometimes we need a little help with decluttering. And I'm not gonna take it any further. Please tell us about your organization, or your company, I should say, and your organizing skills.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Ina Darley. I am the owner of Immaculate Touch Home Organizing. So basically, my business originally started as a residential cleaning service. And what I did was I went into people's homes and I was cleaning with my business partner at the time. And what I started realizing is that these people would call us back week after week, and they would still be in the same position that they were in, like, clutter wise, and so we were, when you have a cleaner, you come in, you clean up the countertops, you mop the floors and all that, but they weren't able to keep the place clean. And so what I started doing was I started opening cabinets and pantries and things and seeing what the real problem was, is that they had no organization. Their items had no home on their shelves. And so instead of putting things away and being able to maintain a system, they would just toss things on the counter because they didn't know where it went. So I started offering organization, which back in 2019, it was still fairly new. People didn't understand what it was about. So I just started offering as an add-on service, like for free, just to show them like, hey, if we clean out some of these containers, every time you open the cabinet, they're not all going to fall out. Or, hey, if I clean off this shelf on the pantry here, you can see how many canned goods you have and how much dry goods you have and stop overbuying. So eventually people started to catch on and realize how much organizing would bring less stress into their life and how much money it was actually saving them, because instead of them buying 4 bags of sugar, they know that they have a good supply of sugar. So that's when I started just doing organization full time with my clients. And I love it so much. I actually turned it into something that is aesthetically pleasing and functional, because I do believe that every crevice of your home, the decor should match. It's a whole new room. And I also believe very strongly that organization helps with your mental health as well. If you have a cluttered home, you have a cluttered mind. And so I try to express that to my clients and show them the value in how organizing will save them time, money, and mental stress.
Awesome, awesome. How does that work in businesses? Do you help organize the business as well, or just home?
No, I just recently started getting into businesses as well, because what I was seeing the challenges is that you have all the supplies and you have nowhere to put it, or you're unsure how to store it. On top of that, you have a lot of spaces where your employees are spending a lot of their time in your business, and the space isn't like really functional for them to be there to take a minute from the work and decompress and kind of get back in a can-do attitude, because everybody needs a time or a moment to kind of just woo-saw and bring it down from a 10 to a 2. And I was starting to see that a lot of businesses didn't have a space for their employees to do that. And I do believe that the mental health of the employees helps the business function very well as well. So I started incorporating, organization in businesses, having a place for all your supplies to go, having a place for all of your employees to put their things and decompress. And